Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of Scream 2022. This review is going to have spoilers in it. Okay, I gave it a 7.8, I believe, the non-spoiler review, if you want to watch that. Now, this review is going to have spoilers in it, so I'm going to try to jump all over the place with this review. So, because I started recording my review with spoilers with this, and I went rambling for like 25 minutes. I had to delete that. And I want to try to make this just a little bit of maybe over 10 minutes just to get all my points in. Okay, now this movie, I liked it. In terms of Scream franchise, I think this is the third best movie. The first one being the classic, and then of course the second one I liked. And I think this one would be the third movie, and then the fourth movie, and the third movie would be my last movie. The third movie, I wasn't that crazy about the third movie that much, to be perfectly honest. But I think this one was good. I think the cast was good. Had some good strong lead. The opening scene, opening kill, the opening. Although, like I said, this movie is the only movie I think with the opening scene where the lead actress didn't get killed. Okay, she survived. Tara, the actress who, what's her name? Jenny Ortega. She played Tara. I think she did a fantastic job in this movie, and she actually survived. I think she's the only girl in these Scream movies that actually survived to the end. Okay, so I liked her character. Now, the character of Sam, who's Jenny's sister, Tara's sister, excuse me. Played by Melissa Barrera. She plays Sam Carpenter. She comes back to town once her sister gets attacked, and we find out of course later that she kind of, she went away from home after a little incident with her family when she found out that she was actually the daughter of Billy Loomis, that her mother, I guess, had an affair with Billy Loomis before he died, and she didn't tell her husband, and when the daughter found the diaries and stuff, and she confronted her mother, her followers, like she said, was standing behind her. So she blames herself for, blowing up her family and stuff. So but she comes back when she hears that her sister, has been attacked and stuff. And so she comes back, and you have her boyfriend played by Jack Quaid. He plays Richie, her boyfriend. He comes back, and he's supposed to be not a big fan of the stab movies, the movie within the movie. He's not a fan of those. Okay. But he decides to come back because he says he loves Sam and he wants to be there for her. So she comes back, and they have a nice little circle of friends. They have the twins, Randy from the first movie. He has a niece and a nephew, twins, and they come back. They're part of the friend. Then they also have a friend named Amber, and then they also have the girlfriend of the twin brother. She's there, and I think then there's Wes, who's the daughter of the sheriff. Deputy Hicks, played by Mary Shelton. So we have those circle of friends, and then, like I said, Ghostface starts to kill, starts attacking and killing people, and then they're trying to figure out exactly why, Ghostface is doing what he's doing. Now, in terms of a movie, some of the kills in this movie are absolutely brutal. Okay, I'd say that there were some of the more brutal kills I've seen in a movie. And again, the opening scene was, I thought, absolutely fantastic. And the actress who played Tara, I thought Jenny Ortega, I think she did a great job in this movie. And again, she wasn't the lead. She was the sister of the lead character, but I think she did I think she showed more range, I think, than the actress who played. And I didn't know the actress who played her sister Sam was in The Heights. I forgot. I totally didn't recognize. I've seen her in The Heights, but I totally didn't recognize her. But she is, she's in this movie as well. She's the lead character, Sam. Okay, now, like I said, the kills are absolutely brutal in there. That opening sequence was absolutely fantastic. And then there's another sequence where Wes and his mother, the sheriff, Judy Hicks, they get killed. And that whole sequence is absolutely fantastic. The tension in that scene where Ghostface calls her when she's on her way to get sushi for her and her son to eat. And he's in the house taking a shower, and she's driving, and Ghostface calls her and taunts her that he's going to kill her son. And so she races back to try to, to prevent this from happening and stuff. And then she winds up getting, she's almost back. She's made it back to the house, and she's running up to the house to try to get into the house. And Ghostface jumps out and stabs her up. And then you have the son come out of the shower, and then he's preparing the food, preparing the plates and all that stuff for them to eat the sushi. And you have so much tension because you think Ghostface is going to jump from behind the refrigerator, behind the cabinet. Everything he opens up, you think Ghostface is going to be right behind it when he closes it. And they ramp up the tension with that until finally Ghostface catches him by the door when he sees that the front door is open. And you think he's going out and he's going to find his mother out there dead. But Ghostface stops him and attacks him at the door, and he's trying to fight Ghostface off. And now he has a taser. When he came to the house, he had a taser, which he put down by the door, like on this little counter thing, and he's trying to reach for it, but also trying to stop Ghostface from stabbing him in the neck with a knife. And he can't quite reach it, and Ghostface finally overpowers him and stabs him in the neck and kills him. And that was one of the more brutal kills. The mother and son getting killed like that. And then, of course, Ghostface again tries to kill Tara again in the hospital. And this is where Dewey gets killed. Now, once the mother and son get killed, and she comes by the house and she sees what's happening, and she sees that the cop that was supposed to be in the hospital guarding her sister is there, and she goes, "Are you insane?" And she rushes back, and gets in the car and gets ready to, go to the hospital to help her sister. And Dewey gets into the car with her. Dewey at first, they go to see him. Sam and her boyfriend Jack Quaid, they actually go to see him, and he tells them, about, they're trying to get, information. First, he kind of turns them down, but then he lets them in, gives them 2 minutes, and explains to them about these Scream things and how they happen, these attacks and stuff. And he gives them advice. And then later on, they don't think he's going to come with them because he kind of kicks them out after that. But later, once the sheriff and her son gets killed, he decides to come and help them. And he jumps in the car with her when they're on their way to the hospital to find her sister. And then her sister's in the hospital, and then all of a sudden the lights go out. And of course she freaks, she's freaking out, and she gets in her wheelchair. She struggles to get in the wheelchair, and she's kind of pulling her way down the hallway. And she sees the cop that's supposed to be guarding her. He's sitting there with his throat cut, bleeding out. He's dead. And then of course Ghostface, she runs into the sister's boyfriend, okay, and he's trying to take her, help her get out of the hospital when Ghostface attacks him, slices him on the arm, and he falls down, and he kicks over the wheelchair, and Ghostface is taunting the sister. He calls on when she's racing over in the car, and telling her that, you got to choose. I got your boyfriend or your sister. Make a decision. I'll kill one of them. Okay, you got to make a choice. Okay, and she's kind of delaying him, on the phone, keeping him on the phone talking, and then that's when when Ghostface gets ready to kill the sister, and she tells him, "Listen, I was just trying to keep you on the phone until we got there." And then the elevator opens and Dewey's there, and Dewey, shoots him, and then they're Ghostface and Dewey are fighting, struggling, and Dewey finally, empties the gun in him. Ghostface collapses against this glass case, and so now everybody's on their way out of the hospital. The boyfriend, the sister, and Sam, and Dewey. But then Dewey, just before the elevator stops, Dewey goes, "Wait a minute, I didn't shoot him in the head. I got to go back." And she said, the girl Sam is going, "Are you insane? Let's go." He said, "No, I got to do this." And he goes out, the elevator closes, they go down, and he approaches Ghostface, who's laying there, and he's getting ready to put 2 in Ghostface's head when his phone rings, and then Ghostface jumps up and stabs him and guts him all the way up in the front, and then stabs him in the back and slices, and just, that was, again, a brutal kill. Dewey got killed really brutal, and then that's the reason that Sydney comes back to town after Dewey gets killed, because she wasn't going to come back to town when Dewey informed about the killings, and he told her not to come back. But once he gets killed, she actually comes back, and she tries to talk to the lead girl Sam, and tries to tell her, "Listen, we got to put this to bed so this Ghostface guy can stop these killings." And she says, "No, I'm leaving. I'm not sticking around. I'm leaving. Me and my boyfriend, my sister, we're leaving. Okay, that's it." Okay, and so they get ready to leave, but then of course the sister, she forgot her inhaler, and the boyfriend said, "Well, no, let's forget about it. We'll get you one when we get to town. We get out of this town." And she said, "How quick do you need?" She said, "I really need it soon because I have the asthma. I'll have an asthma attack if I don't have it." So she said, "We can stop by Amber's house. She's having a party." And the boyfriend kills because he's gone, "Are you insane? Oh, we want to go to a place with a serial killer running around?" And he finally relents and said, "Okay, we'll go. We'll get it and we'll get out." Okay, and they drive over there. And then, of course, that's the third act, and then we'll have more killings in it. Now, I want to get to the reveal of the killers in this. We find out that actually the boyfriend, played by Jack Quaid, he's one of the killers. And the other killer is Amber, the girl whose house they went to who actually, that house that she's living in is actually Stu's house, one of the original killers. That's his house that she's living in. Okay, so those are the two killers. Now, their motive seems to be they're big fans of the Stab movies, and they met on a subreddit. That's how they explain it. And they hated the last Stab movie because they even show like scenes in the movie about the last Stab movie, which went off the rails. They kind of went totally off the rails and wasn't a regular slasher movie, so people hated it. And I guess they were big fans obsessed fans with the Stab franchise, and they wanted to make a real Stab fan, get back to its roots. Okay, so all the people they were killing and targeting were related to the original killers and stuff. So that was their motive, I guess, which I thought was stupid. I think that's a dumb motive to me, to be honest. But I kind of had to hand wave that because I like when Sydney came to. You see the scene in the trailer where they're outside of the house and Nev Campbell Sydney's asking Gail, "Are you ready for this?" She said, "I'm never ready for this." And they go in the house, and they both have guns. Now what I love what Sid did was she's saying, "Killer or anybody hiding in the closet, I'm gonna give you one to come out." And she fired in. I'm gonna count, and she shot in the closets and opened up the doors. I thought that was great. She wasn't taking no chances. She was shooting in the closet and then opening up the door, shooting in the closed closet and keeping it moving. I like that she did that. That was great. Now, again, like I said, that to me that motive was weak. Now, I think a good motive. Oh yeah, another thing. We find out the reason that the lead character Sam, why she ran away from her family, is because she found out that Billy Loomis was her father. Okay. Now they did a thing. They had Skeet Ulrich come back for this movie, and they did some CGI thing on him to make him look like he did back then, which I thought was good. He really did look like he did back then, and so apparently she was seeing him. She was having visions of seeing him in the movie and stuff, and he was in the mirrors and stuff, and he was telling her to accept her destiny and all this stuff that were, and she was taking pills to try to block that out. Now, again, I thought, going into this movie, I thought the killers were going to be either the twins, which I thought would have been a nice twist because they're the nephew and niece of Randy, who was obsessed with horror movies, and that would have been a nice twist to have them be obsessed with horror movies too, and decide to let's do this as twins. That would have been great to have them be the two killers. I think that would have been a nice twist to it, but they're not the killers. In fact, those two characters get attacked and they actually survive, which I was stunned. Okay, that they survived, and actually Tara survived as well. I thought that was, and of course the lead girl Sam, she survived. I was stunned that they all survived. Those four characters, because I thought for sure that Tara was going to die either in the hospital or at the party. I thought she was going to die, and I thought for sure that the twins were going to die because, again, the boy twin, he got attacked outside by Ghostface, which is obviously Amber attacked him outside, and she was getting ready to finish him off when Sam and the boyfriend and her sister pulled up in the car, and that stopped Ghostface from killing. He had to kind of run off, or she had to run off. But the killing that I don't believe is Amber killing Dewey. Okay, I'm sorry. The actress that plays Amber, she's got to be 5'2", 5'4", the most. Okay, and there's a real good scene where you can actually see how tall she is, because she's in the basement with the actress that played the female twin, and they're standing next to each other, and you can see in a long shot that the girl that plays the twin is towering over her. So you expect me to believe this little girl can overpower Dewey and stuff, and she was, they were struggling. Even though eventually, because Dewey had the gun and he shot her, and of course she had body armor on. But you telling me that she can overpower Dewey? I'm not buying that, okay? That part I just don't believe, okay? It would have been better if they would have had her character like be the one to show up at the hospital to when Tara was getting attacked by Ghostface. It would have been better if it was her there and then had the boyfriend, being in the Ghostface suit. And killing, trying to, fighting with Dewey and stuff, and then overpowering Dewey because, Jack Quaid is like, I think he's taller than, I think he's even tall. I think he's 6'1" or something. I think he's even taller than David Arquette. But are you telling me this little girl Amber is going to overpower David Arquette? I'm not buying that. That part I thought was BS. Okay, now and this motive of them being toxic fans who found each other on Reddit and decided to to make a better version in real life of the Stab movies, and then have that be made into a movie. And they were going to actually frame Sam, saying that she's, the daughter of a serial killer. So of course she snapped and she killed all these people. Okay, okay, that's a motive. That's kind of weak to me. But what I thought would have been better, and somebody suggested this in the comments, and I really wish I remember the name and give them credit, but they said, what if it was 3 killers instead of 2? What if it was the boyfriend and Amber? But what if it was Tara? What if Tara was one of the killers? What if she was the mastermind? Now, this is my theory on this. What if Tara was the mastermind, that she really wanted her sister to come back because her sister ran off, and maybe she found out that Billy Loomis is her father, okay, and that made her father run off and abandon their family, and so she wanted revenge on her sister. She wanted to get her sister back. So what way to get her sister back than have her get attacked so her sister could come back to town, right? And then she can start killing all their friends, okay? So, and then wind up, finally revealing that and have her be the one that's going to kill her sister for abandoning their family and stuff, and being the daughter of a serial killer. I thought that would have been better. That would have been a nice twist to this if Tara, because you'd have said, wait a minute, how is she the mastermind? She got attacked by Ghostface. I think that would have even worked better, right? With Tara being the one that she said, yeah, telling this two, like maybe she found those 2 geeks on Reddit and tell them, this is how we're going to plan this out. But she's the mastermind, and she says, yeah, attack me, okay? And you'll stab me and all this stuff, and I'll have my sister come back, and we'll have it play out the way it plays out. And then in the end, either have her kill the 2 killers, and then the twist will be, when she's alone with her sister, she said, I was the one that brung those two people here, and I'm the one, and her motive was that she wanted to kill her sister for abandoning their family, and destroying their family by, I think that would have been a better motive, I think, okay, than just these 2 subreddit idiots, geeks that were obsessed with the Stab movies and wanted to make a better sequel, okay, and I think it would have been better if that would have played out, but said Tara would have been the one pulling the strings, and would have been the genius, because you'd have never suspected. You said no, she almost died because Ghostface attacked her, and she got stabbed, and her ankle got broken, all this stuff, and she got attacked again in the hospital. So you could have said, nobody would have ever suspected it, and then you could have had the last scene with her being with her sister in the room, and then her telling her sister, I'm the one that that planned everything. I'm the one that I hated you for leaving, and you destroyed our family and all stuff, and now you're going to die. And then she killed her sister and have her kill her sister. Okay, I think that would have been a nice twist, but they didn't do that. There's 2, again, a lot of people, again, Dewey figured it out in the beginning of the movie, because he tells when they're explaining the boyfriend, Richie and Sam, they explain to him what happened with their sister and all that stuff, and Dewey goes, who are you? He said, I'm her boyfriend. And he said, oh yeah, you should be the #1 suspect. And sure enough, he was one of the killers. Okay, and I think that would have been better. Either the twins being the killers, I think that would have been good, or having Tara be the mastermind, having her be the 3rd killer, okay? Having her be the one that recruited Richie and Amber to be the killers and stuff, and then, they wind up killing them, having it play out like that, where in the movie where Gail and Sydney kill Amber, and Sam winds up killing her boyfriend Richie. She stabs him. Her ghost of Richie, her ghost of Billy, encourages her to kill, and she winds up stabbing him to death and then slicing his throat. I think it would have been better. Let it play out that way. And then at the end, when they're alone, Tara and Sam, and then Tara tells Sam that she was the one that got them to come to town and all this stuff, and she wanted to draw her back because she was so pissed off that she left and just really angry that she destroyed our family. Okay, and she was the real mastermind behind it. I think that would have been way better. I think that would have been perfect. I think that would have really made this, with 3 killers and her sister actually being the one to be behind everything, or the twins being the killers. I think that would have worked better. Anyway, let me know what you think of Scream 2022. Do you think that would have been a better version? Let me know if did you like the movie version, or would have been a nice twist to have Tara be the mastermind behind everything. Let her be the ultimate killer, the one that was manipulating those 2 nuts, Richie and Amber, to kill, but she really wanted her sister, to draw her sister back, so she even let herself be attacked so she could get her ultimate revenge on her sister for abandoning their family and destroying their family. I think that would have been better. I think that would have been a real good motive. Okay, I think that would have worked too. That would have worked really well, because you could have had, like I said, after everything played out the way it did in the movie, and Sydney and Gail go their own separate ways, and then Tara and Sam are, going out of town, and they're in her new town, in her house or whatever apartment, and then she reveals everything to Sam and winds up killing her. Okay. Like she's explained to her, like this is like she's explained to her what happened about, I knew that you found the diary because I found them later too. So I knew what happened and why you left. And I hated you for that. Okay. And then as soon as that sister turns around, her sister's like, she's crying, tearing up and crying, because she's remembering that, and she's, it's basically a repeat of what she's told her in the hospital when she told her that she found the diaries and found out that Billy Loomis was her father. And like I said, she has her back to her sister when her sister's revealing all this stuff, and she's tearing up, crying, that her sister did know all along. And then as soon as she turns around, you see her sister with the ghost face mask on, and she stabs her sister, and then takes off the ghost face mask. I think that would have been great. That would have been a great ending. I think that would have been a fantastic ending. Or the twins, which I think would have been good too. But I think that would have been a better ending. Anyway, let me know what you think. Which ending you think is better. I think that would have been a better ending. Or the movie ending. Or the twins being the... Let me know down below. I have links to my social media in the description box. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also have a link to my other channel, About Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. Also have a link down below to my patron. I want to say a special thank you to my patron. His name will appear in this video somewhere. I want to say thank you to him for supporting me and always having my back. And again, my patron's only $5 a month. Tons of content on there. Tons of unedited content on there. Again, got Superman and Lois, Titan Season 3, Doom Patrol Season 3, WandaVision, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, all 4 parts of Zack Snyder's Justice League, Mandalorian Season 2, and tons more. Again, follow the link to the Patreon down below. And again, $5 a month. And again, give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Please hit the subscribe button down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long, and take care.